Hi, I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with my series entitled Rhythm Exercises. These are studies in blues guitar rhythmic phrasing. First, I'll perform rhythm exercise in the key of G, number 9, and then I'll break it down for you. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Let's break down rhythm exercise in the key of G, number 9. So in these exercises, we go back and forth from lead guitar to rhythm guitar, and we use the exact same rhythm in each 2-bar phrase. So we have a 12-bar blues. I've broken that into 6 2-bar phrases, and each 2-bar phrase will use this rhythm. The rhythm is triplet, and triplet, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So we're playing lead guitar in the first bar over triplet and triplet, 1, and then we'll enter into rhythm guitar in bar 2. We'll be using what's known as the Chuck Berry or Jimmy Reed rhythm guitar pattern. Normally it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but because we're playing lead guitar into the first 8th note of that pattern, it will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so the lead guitar is on 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So lead guitar over triplet and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Rhythmically, that's how we'll be playing each 2-bar phrase. Now for the scales that we'll be using in this example. We'll be using the G minor and G major pentatonic scales for this example. These are both considered the E form in caged because they fit over where the chord looks like an E. So if you take an open E chord and move it to the 3rd fret, it becomes a G chord, but the shape is still considered E. So the 2 scales look like this. This is the G minor pentatonic. And this is the G major pentatonic. Now that we've talked about the rhythm and scales, let's go on to part 1. Triplet and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're really integrating both pentatonic scales in this exercise. I'm using both thirds, the major and the minor third from the minor pentatonic, major third from the major pentatonic, and I'm using both here, so I'm going triplet, and so this is minor third, major third, 5th, and then on the end of 2, I start on the 6th degree of the major pentatonic, and then blending both pentatonics, triplet, and then down to the 2nd fret, triplet, so I'm using the 2nd, the minor third, and the 3rd, triplet, and then ending on the root G. And then I'm coming in on the rhythm guitar on the and of the beat of beat 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. On to part 2. Here's part 2. Triplet and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm creating a triplet from the minor third, the major third, and the 5th here. And I'm fingering the minor third at the 1st fret instead of over here at the 6th fret, just because it fingers better into the major third like this on the same string. And And then on the and of 2, I go back to the root, and then back to this triplet. And then I create a triplet from the 6th and the 5th of the scale, and end on the flat 7 of the minor pentatonic. And this is a chord tone, so it's a good note to end on. It's part of G7, it's the 7. And so then we go back into the blues pattern, comping, and 2, and 3, and 4, and one more time. On to part 3. Here's part 3. Triplet and triplet, triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're starting right here on a chord tone of C7. It's the 7 of C7, and it's part of our minor pentatonic scale. So we're going down to the G, and then we're ending here on an E on that first triplet, triplet, and this is part of a C7 chord. It's also part of the major pentatonic, but this is an outline of a C7 arpeggio. These notes are respectively in C7 there, the flat 7, the 5th, and the 3rd of the chord. So we're outlining C7 with this triplet. So triplet, and then we have the rest, and then we're using the D note here, which is actually a ninth, like a C9, but it's part of our major pentatonic. So and then we do another triplet, but we're going to come down this way. We're going to start here, and then the next triplet. So we're mixing pentatonics here, and then we're going to end on beat 1 on this note, which is the B flat. Again, we're ending on a flat 7 of the chord. This is part of a C7 chord. It's the 7. So we're ending on a chord tone, and we started on the chord tone, the flat 7 B flat, this one, the higher version, and ended on the lower version. But we're using chord tones at the beginning and end of this phrase. After we finish the lead guitar, of course, we go to the rhythm guitar, and this time we've moved the pattern to C, so we're one string now toward the floor, and 2, and 3, and 4, and let's put that together. On to the next phrase. Here's part 4. Triplet and triplet, triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm starting with a whole step bend, and I'm bending in the minor pentatonic, so I'm bending the 4th of the scale to the 5th of the scale. I'm back on G here, so I'm bending into a chord tone, whole step bend, and then playing. So this is a very common idiomatic blues phrase, triplet, and then I'm playing this note again. This is the root G, and then doing a bend release, triplet. So triplet and triplet, and then the last triplet. So I'm using minor pentatonic here, triplet, and then I'm going to come into the major third from the minor third with a quick hammer. That's going to happen on beat 1 of bar 2. And then back to G comping, and 2, and 3, and 4. So notice I started on chord tones. Again, I started with a bend to the 5, and I ended on a hammer on into the 3rd, all together. On to the next phrase. Here's part 5. So we're starting this on a chord tone of D. This is the 5th of D. This is A. And you can imagine like a D7 here at the top. So we're starting on this A note and we're coming down. This is the root, so it's in both scales. So major pentatonic, the root, and then we're doing a bend here. So we're bending in, it's kind of a quarter to half-ish, and we're bending into this note, which again is in our D 7th chord. So I'm bending toward the 3rd of that chord. I'm trying to bend into it. So I'm trying to outline the chord here. So I'm coming down, and then I'm going to be playing the 5th in triplet form, but the first one, the first note of the triplet is fingered, and then I'm bending to that same note, the 5th. It's the root of the 5 chord. So fingered, bent, fingered. That's the triplet, triplet. And then the next triplet, I'm pulling off with my pinky to the 5th here, coming down to the 4th degree of the minor pentatonic, which is a C. It's part of the D7 chord. And then I'm ending that triplet on A again. So I started the lead guitar on A and ended it on A, and A is a chord tone. And then I go into the rhythm guitar pattern, which is the blues pattern adjusted for the 5 chord D. And so I'm over at the 5th fret, so I'm going to play and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Let's put all of that together one more time. On to the last phrase. Here's part 6. Triplet and triplet, triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we're starting with the double stop, and this is a G power chord, so it's the root and the 5th of G. And then I'm bending to the 5th of G here. So triplet. Then I'm approaching the major 3rd from the minor 3rd, and this is falling on the and of 2 and triplet. So this is major pentatonic and triplet. And then my next triplet is a bend here. And I'm bending the 6th fret note about a quarter-ish to a half. And I'm bending towards the major 3rd of G. So this is the minor 3rd. I'm bending toward the major 3rd of G. Triplet. And then after I end here on the A note, triplet, which is the 9th of G. It's part of the major pentatonic. I'm going to bend to the root of G from the 6th fret on the B string. So I'm ending on the root with a whole step bend, and then I'm into the comping again, and 2, and 3, and 4. And let's put that together. That's it for rhythm exercise in the key of G, number 9. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.